Every affair starts somewhere. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's not a test of your relationship to see how faithful you are or if you really love this person. It's just stupid.
Such a situation where you shouldn't be in, hanging out with like another person, another man. People don't realize how subtly they're influenced.
So what happens when you hang around the wrong people is you start to have a relative morality where it's relative to the bad things that people are doing. So if you take those other people away and she was at a Chippendales, you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Free it.
Right. And every affair starts somewhere. It has to start somewhere, some location.
Right.
That's where it's like, again, people are thinking, oh, well, yeah, as if you're sitting at home and then like the seed of it is just planted in your heart. Like you're just like, okay, I'm just going to go out and cheat. That's not how it happens. It happens innocently 90% of the time, right? That's what, if you ask someone and they describe what happened, what do they always say? They say, oh, well, you know, wasn't really thinking anything, wasn't whatever, you know, so it's like,
well,
if
and
you
it's
put
proximity.
yourself, right. So if you're eliminating, you know, part of, again, I'd say the leadership of a man in a relationship is protecting the relationship. Not protecting, not policing, because I'm afraid that if I don't keep you on a short leash, you're going to go and do shit that you're not, you know, like I know that I don't have to put you on any leash. I know that how much you love me, how you feel about me, that I don't need to do anything. But it doesn't mean that I don't anyway, because boundaries, because it's not policing, it's because it's protecting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is like, you have to protect the relationship, because even the most in love person, right, who is uncorruptible, let's say incorruptible, if you put them into temptation enough times, they may start to become corruptible, right? It's like, it's better to avoid completely than to risk that. And again, and maybe your relationship, and maybe you will survive through it. It's just like, again, there's that show, right? What is that show that I was like, oh man, this is such a horrible show, Temptation Island or something, when we saw the previews from
I think it was the Ultimatum one. With like the people in a relationship, and then they can go and talk to other people though, and see if they want to still be in the relationship.
There's a few shows like that where they have some island and they're like in their swimsuits and they're, you know, just hanging out. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's not a test of your relationship to see how faithful you are or if you really love this person. It's just stupid. That's what it is. Because when you set people up, it's just like, okay, look, I'll give you another quote. Jocko Willink. So discipline is freedom, right? I'm eating, what am I eating now? Only meat and eggs, right? There's freedom in that. Why? Because I don't have to decide what else. Like I know what the rules are. It's meat or it's eggs, right? And so because I have the rules, I have freedom within those rules. But that thing, it's for my protection. Like if I just do a diet, but there's no rules to the diet, guess how well I'll follow that, like how effective that diet will be. Zero effectiveness, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it, is that it's like you have restrictions that you've put in place, but they're like you've agreed to those restrictions, and those things need to be there in order to protect their relationship.
Right. I think people have an issue with the boundaries thing because they would bump up against the boundaries. But when you're in a relationship like we have, you don't even get close to the boundaries because you don't want to. Like, there's no desire to get close to crossing the boundary line. Like, but I think that when people hear these things, they don't like it because they would have a hard time because they would cross the boundary line, right? And then they would get into a situation that their partner wouldn't like. But when you have boundaries that make sense in your relationship like we do, you don't even get close to the boundaries. So you feel free. Like, it doesn't feel confined. But I'm sure that the people who have a problem with it feel like Shamu at SeaWorld, where they're like, I can only go so far.
You're stopping me from...
But we feel like we're in the ocean.
Yeah. There was a girl that commented on I think on the video on my Instagram, and she was like, I forgot exactly what she said. I was telling you last night, but she was like, it's like you're going to stop me from having fun. It's like...
If you think that's fun, you should be single.
Like you should be. That's what she's saying is like, oh, no, I know. The one girl who did a duet on my TikTok and was like, watch out, ladies, for these kind of man, right? Don't pick this man or be a pick-me girl for this kind of man, because he will make it so that you feel like you... I forget exactly what she said, but like if you're going to miss out on all the fun, that you could like, just because now you're with him, and you should be, and he's going to make you feel like you should be spending all your time with him instead of having fun on your own or whatever. I forget exactly how she put it, but it's just like ridiculous.
You're missing out on fun by staying in with your partner rather than going out with your girlfriends to a bar. You should be single.
Right.
If you view hanging out with your partner in the way that you just described, you should be single.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, these people are in relationships that they really shouldn't be in.
Right.
If you genuinely believe these things, that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying you should not be with another person if you strongly view going out and partying like you are single as the most fun you're going to ever have. And then another thing that you said earlier is that I think people need to realize when you were talking about how even if you're super committed and in a very loving relationship, if you're put in situations, you're more likely to be tempted to do something. And that's true with everything. Like, that's why they tell you that who you hang out with influences you. Right. It's the same way. So if you're in a such situation where you shouldn't be in, hanging out with like another person, another man, like as myself, I would still never ever do something like that. Like nobody can influence me to do that. But people don't realize how subtly they're influenced and will potentially start second guessing it. Like you said, even like I know because of our relationship, I would not be influenced to do that. But like you said, I still understand that I get influenced by certain things. Like you said, when you were talking about like if I watched a movie and the guy cheated and I was like, that's me being influenced, know, by like the fear within whatever I'm watching. But it's influencing me to now be like, oh, I'm afraid that might happen to me. Let me go look at his phone or something. Ask him to look at his phone or something.
Well, check this out. Okay, remember, I guess a week ago when we were watching the Mormon housewives thing or the Mormon wives thing, right? And you're like, there was the one girl, right? That was like not really doing anything wrong, right? And she was in. I forget
the Jen girl.
Yeah, and you're kind of getting a little bit like, John, why are you being so harsh on this girl? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. I had to think about that for a little bit. I was like, why is this so wrong? Why is she even more wrong than some of them? And I thought about it and I came up to an answer. And it's exactly what you just said. So what happens when you hang around with the wrong kind of people is like think about it this way. If she wasn't hanging around those people, would she be anywhere near a strip club? Would she be anywhere near Chippendales? So relative to them, she's an angel. She's not touching the strippers. But she's still there. So what happens when you hang around the wrong people is you start to have a relative morality where it's relative to the bad things that people are doing. So if you take those other people away, right, and she was at a Chippendales, you're like, what the hell are you doing, right? But because those other people are there, and they're touching the strippers and they're doing all this other stuff. And now what she's doing doesn't seem like as big of a deal. You see what I'm saying? So it creates an illusion in your head that because you're not doing as bad as what other people are doing, that you're not doing anything wrong. Whereas just being there, right? Like if you took them away, right? Why are you even in the parking lot of this place at all? You see what I'm saying? Like just being there is wrong, right? So I think you get the point that I'm making, but that's the whole thing about it is that you lose track of. It's a slippery slope, Like you don't realize that you're slipping, and relative to the people that are further down the slope than you, you're like, I'm still way up here. So you think you're up here, but what's happening is you're both sliding, and you're maintaining the same height. So you think you're not going anywhere, but you're sliding down.
Yeah.
Each other better than